Hey everybody, I've got a new thing here that I've been excited to get. Wanted to just show you the beginning part of this. I just got this in the mail recently, ordered it before Christmas, but because of the backlog, they weren't able to ship it out until January. And then we got this here, and I'm gonna unpack it and show you guys this and take you through the process of how I get to make my very own mix and then get my very own personalized bottle of whiskey. Let's check it out. So here we have our special delivery in the box, still in the box, Designer Dram, the experience. Now, what we get to do with this is create our very own, my very own bottle of whiskey. So this is the experience. This is the information inside the box. Your opportunity to design the perfect whiskey for your palate using exceptional 5 to 10-year-old barrels used by renowned and loved distilleries around the country. So we'll read the whiskey and blending guide, and then we'll create what we think is our perfect recipe, take notes, and then we'll go back to this site, designerdram.com, enter our recipe, preferred ABV, label details, etc., and then they will make it and create a 750 milliliter bottle, and then they will ship it back to us. This is what we get inside. We have an envelope with something in it here, but we have a measuring beaker, if you will. We have our very own tasting glass, Designer Dram tasting glass. And then we have 5 bottles of bourbon in here. This one is straight rye bourbon. It's out of Indiana, so this is going to be all MGD, I think it is, or MDG. A lot of people get their bourbon up there. So this is straight rye whiskey. And then we have this one, which is wheated. All of these are 43% ABV. And then we have this one, which is pure bourbon. This one, barley rye. And then this one, it says, is pure rye. And then let's see what we have here in this envelope. So in this envelope here, we have this Experience Whiskey and Blending Guide. So this tells us what we're looking at. Multi-page pamphlet here, talks about everything that's in the kit. 5 50 milliliter samples. Start by, this is our guide to blending. And this is each one of the bottles, what it should have, how you should taste it, how you should smell it, the aroma, the palate that it has, in other words, for each of the bottles that we were given. And then here is at the end what we need to write our final mix down on, and then we will put that into the computer. This is going to be fun. Stick around. All right, let's see what we have here. So their guide here to blending says that you should start with a base that has the whiskey flavor notes you most enjoy and make that at least 50% of your final blend. Now, we're taking their advice, and I assume that that's just off the top, because surely there's some stuff out there that is not 50, 51% or more plus others. I mean, if I wanted 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, if I wanted 20% of each one, that's what I can do, right? Not sure why they wouldn't encourage you to do what you think is best for your palate. And then it says, once you have your base, you add in the others. So let's see what they say these things are supposed to taste like. So the pure bourbon, starting on my left, your right. Candy is at the forefront of this whiskey. Think molasses, frosting, and marshmallows. I'm cool with that. The palate should be molasses, charred oak, anise, plum, and apple. Now, anise, I've always believe that is the flavor of black licorice. Not a black licorice fan at all. Aroma should be charred oak, campfire coals, and brown sugar. The mouth weight of this should be medium. It says water equals light, oil equals heavy, so this should be somewhere in the middle of those two extremes. The mash bill of the pure bourbon is 99% corn, 1% barley malt. Okay? Rye bourbon, number 2 here. A complex flavor profile dominated by vanilla, caramel, and complemented by cocoa, smoke, and spice. The palate, cinnamon, nutmeg, black pepper, fennel, candy corn, apple, and caramel. That's a lot of flavors going on there. They all sound good. I don't know what fennel tastes like, but not even sure I know what a fennel is. The aroma should be black pepper, charred oak, and fresh baked bread. The mouth weight is medium to heavy. The mash bill on the rye bourbon is 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% barley malt. Okay, wheated here in the middle. A sweet, creamy with vanilla notes and a hint of wood. The sweet finish fades to slight barrel notes and vanilla. I don't know what barrel notes are. I assume that means kind of oaky because you're pulling this out of an oak barrel. The palate, cream, vanilla, apple, berries, and toasted oak. Maybe that's what they're talking about. And the aroma should be a creamy vanilla, cooked fruit, and sweet bread. I am all over that aroma if that's what it actually smells like. And then the mouth weight should be medium. It says right in the middle. The mash bill of the wheated is 95% wheat, 5% barley malt. Now barley rye here, moving over towards my right, your left. Sugar and Spice is the name of this whiskey. A bold, sweet start, graduating to a spicy finish. The palate of the barley rye is green apple, cinnamon, black pepper, anise, and chocolate. Back to the anise again. The aroma should be fresh baked bread, yeast, and toasted oak. And then the mouth weight should be medium. The mash bill of the barley rye is 49% barley, 51% rye. And then last here we have the pure rye on my right, your far left. Vanilla and caramel meet smoke and spice in this complex whiskey with a rye spice that lingers. I'm not real big on that's why I don't drink a lot of rye, is some of it is very spicy to me and it does tend to hang around. I'm not huge on that, but if I can get some of that taste out of it, let's see what we can get to. It says the palate is caramel, cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, black pepper, green apple, and a slight smoke. The aroma is rye bread and a floral, and then I guess it's a mix of rose and orange blossom. And then the mouth weight on this is medium heavy. The mash bill, 95% rye, 5% barley malt. So I'm ready to get started. Oh, I was gonna let you know that I'm not just going to make notes there. I'm going to go through here. I'm gonna taste each one of these. I've been letting them breathe a little bit. And so I'm gonna taste each one, and I'm going to compare and make notes and compare against their notes to see if what I'm actually tasting or smelling is what they say I should. Because sommeliers that are very good at whiskey, wine, beer, etc., they have a developed palate and nose that can find a lot of things that I cannot get to. I might taste something and I have no idea what it is. Or I taste something that I think is a sour apple and they may say it's a pear. Okay, now if you can eat those two, they taste, one's a little more tart than the other. So you get what I'm headed towards. So we're gonna try these out and see what we end up with. This is gonna be exciting. All right, so what I'm gonna do here, I've got some of my own snifter glasses. I've got 4 of those, which is perfect. And then I have theirs. So because I don't want to rinse my glass every time I do this, I don't wanna have to get up, go over there, rinse the glass, dry the glass, taste something different. I'm gonna taste each one in a different glass. You know, these are all shaped the same. This just has a stem on it. These don't. So very, very similar glasses. I think I'll get the same result whether I taste it in this glass or that glass. The only difference is this one has a little more flare at the top than this one does. Again, very, very similar glasses. So this way I can keep tasting out of the same glass and not have to worry about mixing or rinsing. Starting off with the pure bourbon. Right now I'm just going for flavors to see what I like. And try not to knock things over in the process. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, number one, like I said, see if I can taste the same thing that they say I can, smell the same thing that they say I can, and then I'm just going to rank it. Do I like it best, number 1, or do I like it least, number 5?